Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well as well as teach well. And also peace and salutation to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. And in this video, I'm pretty much going to be responding to a video uploaded earlier by Dabu7. Okay, as you can see, is his YouTube handle right here, Dabu77. All right, and the video done by him earlier today that he uploaded is a video titled East Palestine. All right, Palestine, Ohio, a city up there in the state of Ohio. East Palestine train wreck and explosion releases toxic chemicals from miles Ohio River contaminated. Okay, so basically what you had in this situation, all right, as going to go into, in which I'm not going to actually play this video, for obvious reasons, so that my channel or this video right here doesn't get a strike, or that I don't get hit for copyright reasons and whatnot. But I'm not going to play the video per se, but instead I'm going to read this text that he has down here in the description box, where he pretty much he explains what's going on in the video above. And basically, what you had in the situation, sometime last week, you had a train wreck and an explosion. Basically, a train had derailed up there in Palestine, Ohio, and it caused a major crash. All right, and basically from that crash, a lot of chemicals and whatnot that was inside of the cars of the train basically spilled all over the place. All right, and released toxic chemicals. All right, for miles throughout the parts of the state and whatnot, as well as some a lot of those chemicals ended up in the Ohio River. Okay, the Ohio River, up towards the northern, northern central parts of the United States. Okay, so it says in the text in the description box, it says, while the U.S. government is dispensing millions of dollars in resources to treat balloons as an existential crisis, a small town in Ohio finds itself engulfed in what actually looks like the apocalypse, perhaps by design. All of the drama surrounding violations of U.S. airspace by Chinese spy initiatives has done well to keep what is becoming one of the worst environmental disasters in recent memory from getting any headlines. Okay? It says, the chaos began early last week when a train of more than 100 cars derailed in East Palestine, Ohio, near the state's border with Pennsylvania, with roughly 5,000 residents. The accident launched 50 of those 100 freight cars from the tracks. 20 of the freight cars on the train were carrying hazardous materials, 10 of which were derailed. While the accident had no fatalities, of those 10 cars, 5 contained pressurized vinyl chloride, a highly flammable carcinogenic gas. Okay, yeah. So basically, you had this major train wreck that happened last week up there in Ohio, near the Ohio-Pennsylvania border, and it caused many of the cars of the train to derail, all right, and whatnot, and caused a major accident, so-called accident, right? And due to the incident, a bunch of toxic chemicals, got released into all throughout parts of the city, all right, and as well into the Ohio River. Okay, as it says right here, all right, pressurized pressurized vinyl chloride, okay, which as it says right here, a highly flammable, all right, carcinogenic gas. All right, so yeah, and so here it is, due to this incident last week, and you notice, ever since this happened, you haven't seen any coverage of this particular event, throughout the mainstream news media. No coverage of it from Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, NBC, ABC. None of these mainstream news media stations have talked about this particular event. Okay, just all swept under the rug. Just as all of these food processing plants being burnt down and destroyed. You don't see you don't see a lot of these things being talked about throughout the mainstream news media. It's just all being swept under the rug. And why is that? Because ultimately, all of these things are being done by design, including this right here that I'm showing you up on the screen. All right, this train wreck. All right, and so now you have all these toxic chemicals. All right, in all throughout this city, Palestine, Ohio, or whatever, and even worse, now it's in the waters. In this case, the Ohio River. Okay, and pretty much when you look at the Ohio River, all right, let's just look up some images of it on Google. And look, you could even see right here the first three searches: Ohio train chemicals, Ohio chemical explosion, Ohio train derailment map. All right, as well as right here and right here as well. Now, let's look up pictures of the Ohio River. All right, as you can see, goes through Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, West Virginia, Pennsylvania. All right. And then not only that, let's see, let's look this up. Hold on. Oh. What? Oh, man, come on now. All right, hold on. Let's do it like this. All right, yeah, the Ohio River. As you can see, when you look at a map of the major rivers throughout the United States, okay, as you can see, the Ohio River is right here, but then you also see it's connected to what? The Mississippi River, okay, which goes from up north. All right, it starts in the state of Minnesota, okay, right here, this state of Minnesota. It goes all the way, down in between Wisconsin and okay, Wisconsin, all the way down to Missouri. All right, all the way down to Arkansas, and then down to Louisiana. Okay, down into the Gulf of Mexico, and as well. Okay, you also see all these other rivers connected to it. These major rivers throughout the United States, and so pretty much, all right, whatever chemicals that got spilt into the Ohio River, due to this train wreck, okay, which more than likely was all done by design, okay, because especially we that are of the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel, we know that ultimately Esau Edom is behind all of these disasters, okay, that's destroying the foods and destroying the air and destroying the waters and whatnot. All right, but pretty much, whatever chemicals got wasted into the Ohio River, due to this wreck, eventually is going to spread throughout all these other rivers throughout the United States, including the Mississippi. All right, and what's significant about this is well, for one, here it is, pretty much any and all living living organisms that exist on the earth, okay, all depend on water in some way, shape, or form. Whether it be humans, animals, plants, trees, okay, insects, bugs and whatnot. Pretty much any, physical living organism that exists on the earth depends on water in some way, shape, or form. And so here it is. When you contaminate the waters, in which, water makes up, over 70% of the globe. Okay, pretty much when you pollute the waters, when you contaminate the waters, then everything else on the earth is contaminated along with it as well, because everything on the earth depends on water in some way, shape, or form. And so now, due to this event, okay, and more than likely, this is not going to be the last type of event where Esau Edom is going to attempt to contaminate the waters and whatnot, the rivers throughout the country and whatnot, but nonetheless, because of incidents like this where the waters are being contaminated, all right, this is a part of end time prophecy in the scriptures. Okay, this is the book of Revelation, chapter 8, in verse 10. It says, "And the third angel sounded, and there fell a great star from heaven, burning as it were a lamp, and it fell upon the third part of the rivers, and upon the fountains of waters." All right. Verse 11. "And the name of the star is called Wormwood, and the third part of the waters became wormwood, and many men died of the waters, because they were made bitter." So here it is, end time prophecy. All right, the fact that the waters are being, contaminated and being touched, in wickedness, by Esau Edom and his, scientists and whatnot. All right, his elites. Okay, the fact that all these things are happening is ultimately all because of Bible prophecy. The Lord has a particular angel over, the waters being touched and contaminated. Okay, and we just read it right here in Revelation the 8th chapter. All right, that third angel. Okay, and when you go into this word wormwood,
Strong's G 894. Obscentheon.
it says, wormwood, the name of a star which fell into the waters and made them bitter. Okay, made them bitter. All right, and that's, with these chemicals, all right, that's being spilled into the waters. All right, is eventually going to do to all, the waters throughout the country. It's going to make them bitter. All right, bitter to the point of, to where it, is undrinkable. Okay, it's contaminated, it's too toxic, is deadly, it's poison. All right. Let's see. Let's give this word bitter.
Strong's G 4087. Picrino.
It says, to make bitter, to produce a bitter taste in the stomach, to embitter, exasperate, render angry, indignant, to be embittered, irritated, to visit with bitterness, to grieve, deal bitterly with. All right, yeah. So, this is all, part of end time prophecy. The Lord has a particular angel over this, events like this. Okay, to make the waters bitter, to make them, contaminated to the point to where, all right, it's going to get to a point to where when, people drink it, as it says right here, many men died of the waters. So, the Lord has it to where, in these end times, just as, all the foods and, stuff like that is being, contaminated, with all these GMOs and chemicals is all in our foods. All right, that's defiling our food and defiling our bread. the Lord is going to have it to where even the waters are going to be defiled. Okay, even the waters are going to be bitter and contaminated to the point to where the waters are going to be deadly to put in your body. All right, and here it is. Naturally, pretty much water is the best thing to put in your body. Okay, but now even that is touched, okay, and contaminated. You know, and then let's get this. All right, this is Jeremiah 9, verse 15. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, the power of Israel, behold, I will feed them, even this people. All right, this is basically prophecy against Israel. All right, the Israelites, our ancient forefathers. All right, it says, behold, I will feed them, even this people, with wormwood, and give them water of gall to drink. Okay, so here it is. This was a prophecy, all right, that, of course, it took place back in the ancient world, because when you go back, to the time of the Babylonians and when the first temple was sacked, okay, one of the other strategies that the Babylonians took against our people, to conquer our forefathers, and bring them into captivity and sack Jerusalem and things like that. One of the strategies that they used against us was to besiege us, to cut off our food supply, as well as cut off our water supply, and as well as contaminate our waters, as we just read right here. But as the scriptures also says in the book of Ecclesiastes, that which is then is now. Okay, so just as it happened back then to our people, the Lord is getting ready to do it now in this time. All right, in this case, turn the waters into wormwood. All right, and so when you look up this word wormwood, it says Lina, Strong's H3939, Lina. It says wormwood, bitterness. Okay, so there you have it again, bitterness. Then the Strong's definition, it says from an unused root supposed to mean curse. Oh, so you see that? So the fact that the waters are getting ready to be contaminated throughout the United States, that's going to be a curse. Okay, a curse throughout the country, but especially towards Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the 2/3 of our people that refuse to repent. And being that we're speaking of the water contaminated and our people receiving judgment because of the water and whatnot. We saw small glimpses of that years ago out there in Flint, Michigan, where you had the water being contaminated out there in Flint, Michigan. All right, primarily where in neighborhoods where Jake lives at. All right, and then as of recently down in Jackson, Mississippi, well, pretty much the same thing happened down there to the Jakes down there in Jackson, Mississippi. Okay, the waters were all became polluted and contaminated. Okay, bitter. All right, and of course, both of those two incidents, Flint, Michigan, and Jackson, Mississippi. Of course, we already know, that was all by design. All right, but ultimately it was done by design by Yahweh Shema Shai via prophecy. It says, from an unused root supposed to mean to curse. It says, wormwood regarded as poisonous and therefore accursed. See that? So the waters being poisoned, all right, throughout America, via these orchestrated events, such as this train wreck right here, is all part of Bible prophecy. Okay, to poison the waters, to kill off a lot of people throughout the United States. Okay, and especially, to bring judgment upon 2/3 of our people. All right. And then this word gall, Strong's H7219, Ra'ash, Ra'ash, it says gall, venom, bitter, poisonous. Okay, poisonous. All right, yeah. So, the waters being poisoned, again, is all part of prophecy, mainly end time prophecy. Okay, now let's get this in the Apocrypha, in the book of Ecclesiasticus, or better known as Sirach. All right, Sirach 39 in verse. Matter of fact, let's see what this real quick. Jeremiah 9 and 15 in the let's see what the NLT says. Jeremiah 9 and 15 in the NLT. So now this is what the Lord Yahweh of heaven's armies, the power of Israel says, look, I will feed them with bitterness and give them poison to drink. Okay, yeah, pretty much saying the same things that I said earlier. Okay, so this is Sirach chapter 39 verse 25. It says, matter of fact, let me make this bigger. There we go. Nope. All right, Sirach 39 and verse 25. It says, for the good are good things created from the beginning. All right, yeah, because when Yahweh Shai in the Alahayim created everything in the beginning, all right, what did the Most High say after they finished creating particular things? Okay, it is good, meaning what? It is beneficial, it is necessary. All right, it is profitable. Okay, so Sirach 39 and 25 again. For the good are good things created from the beginning, so evil things for sinners. Verse 26. The principal things for the whole use of man's life are water, fire, iron, and salt, flour of wheat. Okay, you use flour to make bread, right? It says honey, milk, and the blood of grape. Okay, use the blood of grape to make wines, right? And oil and clothing. Verse 27. All these things are for good to the godly, so to the sinners they are turned into evil. And that's what we see happening right now under this wicked rulership. All right, the rulership of Esau Edom. Okay, namely, under the elite banking families, the Rothschilds and so on and so forth, which are all, small hat families. All right, the 1948ers, Amalek. Okay, all these things that are just listed right here in verse 26. Okay, the water, the fire, the iron, honey and milk, and so on and so forth, oil. Okay, for the godly, all right, the righteous, all these things are used for good. Okay, for good purposes. But to the sinner, or the ungodly, the wicked, all these things that are just listed are turned into evil. All right, and that's what we see happening under the rulership of Esau Edom in these latter days. All the principal things and the daily essential things that we need in life, our food, our water, clothes, and so on and so forth. Okay, medicines. Esau Edom, pretty much weaponizes all of those things. Okay, everything that the Heavenly Father created to be good and beneficial, Esau Edom is polluting it and making it work against us. Okay, a lot of the foods that we eat is all contaminated, is all chemicals, is all fake and altered, GMOs and so on and so forth. The waters that we drink is all contaminated and polluted, the bottled water and stuff like that. Okay, we shouldn't need no damn bottled water, man. Even the very air that we breathe is contaminated. All these chemtrails and whatnot. Even the clothes that we wear is all polluted. Okay, everything is made out of mixed fabrics. All right, is altered, is tainted, in some way, shape, or form. Our bread is all defiled, okay, with all types of gluten in it. All right. Esau Edom has pretty much made all of the other daily essential things, the principal things that we need in our everyday lives, okay, for wickedness, okay, to basically, help us, die faster. All right, man. And then, the fact that this devil is doing stuff like this to the waters, okay, that basically Esau Edom, he's making war against nature. He's making war against everything that's natural and pure that Yahweh Shema Shai and the Allahayim created, all right, from the beginning. Okay? Esau Edom, he's defiling everything that's natural and trying to recreate creation, all right, after his own image. All right, and then trying to sell it back to us. Okay? But we know that in these end times, okay, because Esau Edom is trying to put the squeeze on everybody, he's gonna look to it to ration all of the daily essential needs that we all need to us. Okay? And Yahweh Shai even spoke of that in the scriptures. Let's get that. So Luke 21. All right, Luke 21 and 24. It says that this Yahweh Shai speaking, and they shall fall by the edge of the sword. All right, this is basically Yahweh Shai prophesying the sacking of Jerusalem. All right, back in 70 A.D. by the Roman military. Okay. So verse 24 again, and they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations. Okay, and that happened in 70 A.D. It says, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. And right now we're in the times where the times of the Gentiles, the other nations, the heathen nations, are just about fulfilled. That's why we see war on the horizon. World War III. These nations getting ready to come up against America. Russia, China, Iran, Syria. Okay, and even you even have some a lot of these NATO and EU nations are now starting to look at America with a side eye. Okay, and that's according to prophecy. Revelation the 17th chapter. The beast shall hate the whore. Okay, but as Yahweh just said, we're in the times where the Gentiles, all right, their rulerships are getting ready to be fulfilled. And what the Yahweh also said in the next verse, verse 25, and there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth, distress of nations. All right, these nations catching hell. Okay, all these the supply chain, okay, being disrupted. Certain nations, not being able to export certain goods and resources to other nations. Okay, and what is that going to lead to? It says, Yahushua says, with perplexity. You see that? With perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. So Yahushua, all right, prophesying right here that in the end times there's going to be a distress of nations. All right, these different countries, okay, catching hell, financially, socially, military wise, okay, labor wise, within the workforce and whatnot, people getting laid off from their jobs left and right, okay, catching hell, protesting, okay, coming up against their governments, all right, because that's, what the sea and the waves roaring goes into, where Yahushua says right here, the sea and the waves roaring, okay, that's basically twofold, because, yeah, of course, we see in these end times, you have a lot of, what they call natural disasters happening, within the waters and whatnot. Tsunamis hitting certain countries. Okay, mass flooding in different countries throughout the world. Killing off hundreds and thousands of people. Yeah, we see that on the on a carnal level, but as well, the sea and the waves also represents people as well. Okay, the sea and the waves. All right, roaring. All right, and that's why in the scriptures, you know, the book of Second Ezra, the 9th chapter, it speaks about uproars of the people. Okay, that one of the ways that we're gonna know that the Most High is visiting the earth is when we see uproars of the people. People protesting throughout the world. Protesting against their governments. Looking to overthrow their governments. Okay, going toe to toe with their police force and their military and whatnot. Okay, sedition. Blood in the streets and whatnot. The sea and the waves roaring. But to touch on that word perplexity, Yahushua said, okay, upon the earth, the stress of nations with perplexity. All right. And now, as we always bring out, this word perplexity,
Strong's G 640. Aparia. Aparia.
it says the state of one who is in perplexity. Okay. And when you go to the root word,
Strong's G 639. Apareo. Apareo.
it says to be without resources, to be in straits. Okay, the straight gate, the straight and narrow path that Yahushua spoke of in the scriptures. It says to be left wanting, to be embarrassed, okay, to be in doubt, not to know which way to turn, to be at a loss with oneself, be in doubt, not to know how to decide or what to do, to be perplexed. All right, yeah. So basically, Yahushua is prophesying right here that the nations are going to be in so much distress in these end times, due to certain events happening throughout the world. Okay, that the average everyday person is going to be without resources. Is going to be without access to food and access to water and access to particular comforts and luxuries that we're used to having right now. Okay, the people are going to be without resources. Okay, and in this case, alluding to the topic of the lesson, people are going to be without clean water to drink. Okay, clean water, because the waters are going to be all contaminated. All right, they're going to be poisonous. They're going to be made bitter. All right, due to Esau Edom, causing all these particular events, these orchestrated events, to have all types of toxic chemicals, inflammable chemicals, okay, put into the waters. All right. So people are going to be in straits without resources. All right. To the point to where, as it says right here in definition 2, to be at loss with one's self. This state of perplexity that we're getting ready to see throughout the whole earth is going to have people losing their minds. All right. People are going to be breaking into each other's houses, trying to steal their goods, trying to find clean water, for them to drink. All right. Trying to find food and resources, to feed their children. All right. These are the times that we're coming in. Okay. And, all of these things are being orchestrated, by the elites of Esau Edom. And ultimately, it's being, of course, is ultimately being orchestrated by Yahweh Shemel Shai via Bible prophecy. All right. So these, these are the times that we are getting ready to come into. Okay. And so let's get this real quick. Because ultimately, the Lord is at a point to where, he's getting ready to take this devil down. All of this destruction, all of this pollution and deception that he's done throughout the earth. Talk about Esau Edom, right? Okay, the Lord is getting ready to destroy him and take him out of his rulership. Okay, and set up Yahushua in the tabernacle of David, the 144,000. All right, to be the righteous governing body that's going to rule this planet Earth. Okay, this is Revelation chapter 11, verse 18. And the nations were angry and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead that they should be judged. All right, and who are the dead that is speaking of in this verse? Basically, any and everybody that's not of the elect of the nation of Israel. Okay, the heathen nations, Esau, Edom, 2/3 of our people. Okay, we're in a time where all the dead, okay, all those that are not of the elect of the nation of Israel, are getting ready to face judgment on a mass level. All right, throughout the whole entire earth. It says, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great. And that's what's also going to come when the Lord begins to bring judgment upon the ungodly of the earth. He's also going to reward, okay, the righteous upon the earth, which are, as it just said, the prophets, okay, the apostles, the saints, which are the Israelites. But mainly, in the context of this verse, it's talking about the elect of Israel, okay, because saint is basically short for the word sanctified, and sanctified means what? Cleansed, okay, made purified, made holy, made separate, okay. And who is the Lord doing all those things to in these latter days? His elect, okay, in which who would be at the forefront of the elect in these latter days? The prophets and the apostles, okay. And it says, and to them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. And who's destroying the earth? Primarily Esau, Edom, and the rest of these heathen nations as well, to a certain extent. But it's primarily Esau, Edom that's destroying the earth. Okay, Esau, Edom, destroying everything that's natural and beneficial on the earth that was made, okay, for the benefit of man. All right. Esau, Edom is behind all these things. Okay, and so because Esau is destroying everything natural on the earth. Okay, and trying to limit, carbon, okay, carbon usage and carbon emissions on the earth. The Lord is going to destroy him. All right, because as it says, let's get this real quick. In Isaiah 24 and 5, the earth is also defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. And who's inhabiting the earth right now as far as rulership? Esau, Edom. And as I just said, Esau, Edom, okay, the earth is defiled under his rulership, okay, because of him, transgressing the laws, okay, changing the ordinances, basically, ruling this whole entire planet Earth outside of the law, statutes, commandments of Yahweh Shimon Shai, in which when you go into the laws, all right, in the Torah, there's laws that teach you how to, take care of the earth and take care of your land, okay, that you're supposed to farm on a particular land for 6 years, and on the seventh year, you let that land rest. You do no farm work. That's what we like to refer to as the land Sabbath. And also in the law, it tells you that you're not supposed to be going around cutting down trees, for the tree is the life of man. And that's what you see Esau Edom doing throughout the earth. Okay, especially down there in the Amazon, all right, the Amazon rainforest, just constantly cutting down trees, mass deforestation, all for the to do what? To build up factories and in large retail stores, and you know you know manufacturing shops, and all this BS. Okay, this devil is defiling the earth. All right, he's destroying the earth, and that's why, as we just read at the latter end of Revelation 11 and 18, and should have destroyed them which destroy the earth. So this devil and his rulership is getting ready to be judged and destroyed by Yahweh Shemel Shai. Okay, and the true government, the true rulers of the earth are getting ready to come back into power, and that's Yahweh Shai and the tabernacle of David, the 144,000. Okay, so let's get this and end it off right here. This is Isaiah chapter 33, And read verse 6, and then after that, jump down. Isaiah 33 and 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. Okay, because as it just said, as it says right here at the top of this chapter, the little subheading, it says what? The judgment of God. Okay, the judgment of Yahweh Bashim Shai. And that's exactly the times that we're in right now. The Lord's getting ready to bring mass judgment. And so we as the hopeful elect, when the Lord starts to bring mass judgment throughout the earth, according to end time prophecy, what's the main thing that's going to keep us as the hopeful elect stable in these times? Okay, as it reads again, Isaiah 33 and 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Shai, is his treasure. So when the Lord starts to bring his judgment, okay, mass famine, mass blackouts, okay, the waters being poisoned, okay, sedition, mass death, what else? The teeth of wild beasts, and so on and so forth. We that are of the hopeful elect, Lord willing, we endure to the end. We're going to be stable during those times, while the rest of the world is going to be losing their minds. And why is that? Because we're going to have the knowledge and wisdom of Yahweh Shemel Shai dwelling in us, as well as the fear of the Lord. Okay? And so, jumping down to verse 15, Isaiah 33 and 15, he that walketh righteously and speaketh uprightly, he that despiseth the gain of oppressions, that shaketh his hands from holding of bribes, that stoppeth his ears from hearing of blood, and shutteth his eyes from seeing evil. Okay? And who will be doing all these things in a lot of days? The elect of the nation of Israel. It says, he shall dwell on high, his place of defense shall be the munitions of the rocks. Bread shall be given him, his water shall be sure. You see that? So we that are the hopeful elect, as long as we continue to put our best foot forward, so to speak, and continue to to have faith in Yahweh Bashim Shai, and fear Yahweh Bashim Shai, and keep this knowledge and wisdom and understanding of the scriptures dwelling in us, via the Holy Spirit. As the Lord says, we're going to be given bread, and our water shall be sure. So while the rest of the world is going to be dealing with all this contaminated and polluted water, all right, the wormwood, as we've been going over through our prophecy, we're going to have clean water to drink, and clean water to have at our disposal. Okay, during the time of Jacob's trouble, when all hell breaks loose, so the Lord, however the Lord is going to do it, He's going to have us in good case, as the scripture says in Isaiah 65, I believe, the Lord said that his servants shall eat, so Lord willing, we're going to be all right when these time come, when the judgment of the Lord, comes, all right. Verse 17, Isaiah 33 and 17, thine eyes shall see the king in his beauty. What king? That's Yahweh Shai, the King of kings and Lord of lords. It says, they shall behold the land that is very far off. All right, yeah, that land talking about the Holy Land, the land of Israel, the very land that was promised to our forefathers Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Okay, the very land that Adam was placed in. Okay, for him and the sons of God, the descendants of Seth, were to rule out of, okay, in righteousness throughout the earth. Well, that very same land, Yahweh Shai, okay, the King of kings and Lord of lords, all right, Lord willing, when he comes to deliver us, he's going to deliver us back into that very same land, where we're going to rule, all right, out of the nation of Israel, primarily out of Jerusalem, as the sons of God all over again, all right. With the new bodies, with the new covenant, okay, in perfect righteousness, forever and ever. All right. But before we can get to that stage, These are some of the things that we're gonna have to go through and endure through. Okay, in order to get to that point, the waters being contaminated, Esau, Edom, defiling the waters. All right, so I'm gonna end it off right there. Lord willing, this video is edifying. Okay, and I want to give all praise to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakakwadash. My honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone and rule well, as well as teach well. And peace and salutation to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. Until next time, shalom.